This is Serena Singh with Learning Objective 12. In this video, we are going to explain how mutations in tumor suppressor genes can cause cancer. Cancer and tumors. Cancer is a disease in which abnormal cells divide uncontrollably and destroy body tissue. They are typically characterized by tumors. A tumor is a swelling in part of the body caused by the abnormal growth of a tissue. Tumors can be malignant or benign. If a tumor is malignant, then it is cancer. Now we're going to get into our learning objective. So first we're going to try to figure out what a tumor suppressor gene is. So, as we know, there are genes whose products promote cell division. So, a tumor suppressor gene is the opposite of this. The name is pretty self-explanatory. These are genes whose products inhibit cell division. These genes encode proteins that help prevent uncontrolled cell growth. So, the protein products of tumor suppressor genes all have various functions. So, some repair damaged DNA. Now, this is preventing the cell from accumulating cancer-causing mutations, which would then be replicated. Others control the adhesion of cells to each other or add the extracellular matrix. Now, we talked about this a bit before in an earlier chapter, where we mentioned density-dependent inhibition. Now, this is often missing in cancer cells. So, density-dependent inhibition basically says that when there is no more room for a cell to properly grow, it will stop growing. So imagine a petri dish. When there is no more space in that petri dish to hold cells, normally a cell would stop growing and dividing. However, in cancer cells, they continue to grow despite the lack of space. And still others are components of pathways which inhibit cell growth. Now, you're probably wondering how a mutation in the suppressor gene can contribute to the onset of cancer. Well, if you have a mutation in this gene, that means it may not do its job properly or it may not function at all. So, in effect, you would be stimulating the growth of cancerous cells through the absence of the suppression, meaning that if you are not repressing them, if you're not stopping the growth of these cancer cells, then technically you're allowing them to grow and therefore stimulating them. Now, this can cause the tumor suppressor genes with mutations to have similar effects to oncogenes. Oncogenes are cancer-causing genes which develop from normal genes called proto-oncogenes. Okay, so the very last thing I want to happen is for you guys to get confused with that last bit of information I just gave you. So, I want to say that a tumor suppressor gene with a mutation is in no way an oncogene. It is in no way an oncogene. So, I've added a helpful little chart which will hopefully show you the differences between the two. So, the function of the normal version of the tumor suppressor gene is to regulate cell growth and proliferation. It may also induce apoptosis, which is cellular death. This means that cell division is kept under control by the suppressor gene. However, an oncogene promotes cell growth and proliferation, even to the extent of causing dividing to occur when it's not needed, which is basically saying that cell division is not under control and the cells divide continuously and there is no way to stop it. Now, for a mutation to occur in a tumor suppressor gene, it has to be taking place on both copies of the gene to inactivate them. For an oncogene, a mutation needs only to be on one copy of the gene mutated. So the effect of mutation for a tumor suppressor gene is its loss of function. The mutation on an oncogene is a gain of function. So this is two very different things. So when a tumor suppressor gene loses its function, it's unable to prevent the spread of cancer cells because it allows them to continue to divide. However, an oncogene encourages these cells to continue to divide, and that's where the difference lies between the two. Now, here I have a little bit of a chart as well that shows you how a tumor suppressor gene is supposed to work. So normally, when it is functioning, normal growth inhibiting proteins are created, which keeps cell division under control. However, when it's mutated and it's unable to do its job, it's defective, meaning that it's non-functioning. So the proteins that it creates are unable to keep cell division under control, which allows the proliferation of cells to the extent that it causes cancer. And that concludes our video.